Super Bowl. He's going to the Super Bowl is where he's going.
The miracle has happened. The Broncos are going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, Gumbo, here we come to New Orleans.
For the players and coaches of the National Football League, the Super Bowl is their ultimate destination. It's their justification for sacrifice and their reward for greatness. For the fans, the Super Bowl is America's winter sports spectacle. A celebration that now plays on a worldwide stage.
Bienvenidos al Super Bowl entre los Gigantes de Nueva York, campeones de la Conferencia Nacional, y los Buffalo Bills, campeones de la Conferencia Americana.
Quatrième du titre opposant les 49ers de San Francisco et les Broncos de Denver.
Sverige, Norge, Danmark. Här är det Super Bowl från Louisiana Superdome in New Orleans.
60 minutes away from World Championship, man.
Don't hold nothing back. This is it.
You belong here. You're the best. Let's do it.
Go!
It's showtime. It's showtime. It's showtime.
Showtime at the Super Bowl continues to create larger-than-life heroes that have become part of this nation's sports memory. This show is an anthology of those players and their highlights. The good, the bad, the funny, and the sad. The Super Bowl has them all.
Scott Norwood. He can fire the shot heard round the world now and win a Super Bowl.
Ball responded at the 37-yard line.
The Super Bowl will ride on the right foot of Norwood.
Snap, spot, in the air. It's got the distance. It is. Oh, good! Giants have won. Super Bowl 25.
A ticket to Super Bowl I cost $7.50. The game featured a team from Missouri and a team from Wisconsin and was played in the LA Coliseum. Curiosity brought out the Beverly Hills paparazzi. But the game itself failed to sell out. The central figure in this inaugural contest was Kansas City Chief cornerback Fred Williamson, known to his admiring fans as the Hammer.
If I tell you that Boyd Dial is not going to catch a pass, it's because I believe it. If I tell you Carroll Dale is going to be spending half the game on his behind, it's because I believe it. As a matter of fact, the first fake Boyd Dial gave me, they carried him off the field after that. He caught one pass, was slanting over the middle, and I said, this is just what I'm looking for. Here's a guy 6'7", 6'8", coming across on a slant end on the hammer. And I hit him with everything that I had, and they took him off the field because the shoulder was no longer normal.
Enter reserve wide receiver Max McGee, whose pregame preparation did not receive the Vince Lombardi seal of approval.
I just had to go out and see the lights on Sunset Strip, so out I went, and as you go in the bars, you meet people, and I met a couple of airline stewardess from Chicago. I definitely made breakfast the next morning with the team, and I felt pretty doggone, I didn't feel that bad, but I didn't expect to get in this football game. And when Bart threw the first touchdown pass, as the film shows, Bart got a little rush on and threw a pretty bad pass, and it was behind me. And I said, well, I better reach back and try to break up this interception. And that's when I reached back, and the ball stuck right there. I mean, just the end of the ball right there, and I put it under my arm. Looked like we'd practiced it all year, So that was the first Super Bowl touchdown.
The prodigal pass catcher scored twice, and the game's most pivotal play was also its most memorable. Willie Wood's second-half interception, the catalyst for a 3-touchdown outburst that resulted in a decisive 35-10 Packer victory. Oh, yes. And as for the hammer,
I had set myself up because I was the Pied Piper. The Green Bay Packers are going to get the hammer. Donnie Anderson came around, and his knee hit me right on the smack right here in the forehead, and I went down. And I was a little woozy.
The hammer! You know who got hurt? The hammer. The hammer! That's the big nail, the hammer. Hey, Slap, the hammer got it!
I'm the clown of the football field now because I'm out. They got the hammer. They said, come on, get up. And I refused to get up. I'm embarrassed. They came and they dragged me off the field and dumped me on the sidelines. When they dumped me, I jumped up and I waved at my fans to let them know I was all right.
prior to Super Bowl III, New York Jet quarterback Joe Namath made even more noise on behalf of the old AFL. Said Namath, "We'll win. I guarantee it."
Coach Eubank was very upset. He was sure that what I had said earlier about the guarantee was going to fire up the Baltimore Colts. It's a very good thing that we won, because had we not won the game, I don't know where I'd be today.
Today, he's in the Hall of Fame. His reward for engineering the greatest upset in Super Bowl history. A loss made even more painful for the Baltimore Colts by quarterback Earl Morrall's famous flea flicker volley.
In the film, I'm 37 yards away from the closest guy. And why Earl didn't get there, I don't know. Whether he didn't look, didn't see me, it's hard to say. You have to go back. You'd have to ask him, and I don't think he wants to answer that question. He may not know the answer.
How does Morrall remember his moment of Super Bowl infamy?
Instead of looking at Jimmy Orr, who's standing wide open in the end zone, waving his hands, and I see the fullback and try to steer it to him, and it gets intercepted there. It's one of those things that I guess it just wasn't in the books for us. We were heavily favored and couldn't believe that it did happen. It's just unbelievable. And you think about your career as, gee, I'm on top of the world, and all of a sudden, bang, I'm at the bottom. And I think that's one of the things the Super Bowls do to you, that you have a great season. If you don't win that Super Bowl, it seemed like the whole season just went down the drain.
A myth was buried, and a legend was born. Yet one still must wonder, what if that flea flicker hadn't gotten all fouled up?
Here come the Redskins with 12 seconds to go in the half, trailing 14-3.
Earl Morrall wasn't the last quarterback to have a moment of myopia become a Super Bowl turning point.
Intercepted! Jack Squirrel! Touchdown Raiders! Holy Toledo!
Screen pass, and they looked like they knew it was coming. I guarantee they looked like they knew that play was coming.
In a meeting earlier that season, a Joe Theismann to Joe Washington screen pass in an identical game situation caught the Raiders by surprise and set up a Redskin field goal. Raiders assistant coach Charlie Sumner remembered this strategy. In Super Bowl XVIII, he sent linebacker Jack Squirek into the game for the express purpose of shadowing Joe Washington. Squirek stayed with his man, and Theismann never saw him.
An electrifying, stunning development as Jack Squirek becomes the proud possessor of a Super Bowl XVIII touchdown.
But the single most decisive defensive play in Super Bowl competition occurred in game number 5. With just seconds remaining and the score tied at 13, Mike Curtis's interception set the stage for a cool rookie place kicker.
At that point, we knew it was going to be a field goal. And at that time, Coach McCafferty, yelled to John Sandusky to get the field goal team ready.
Tell all the guys on the field team, don't get set until you tell them to set. Tell them all not to set until you tell them to set. And if they overload one side, give a man over right, a man over left.
And I was standing on the sideline going crazy. I said, you gotta do it. You gotta hit it. And he was so calm it didn't make sense. He said, I'm gonna do it. You know, everything is cool.
We're gonna win this game.
I was begging, pleading, come on, Jimmy. And as soon as he hit the ball, the sound of it, I knew it was gonna be good.
O'Brien is ready. 9 seconds showing on the clock. The Cowboys and the Colts all tied up. There is the snap. The kick is up. It is long enough. It hits! A 32-yard field goal by Jimmy O'Brien. It is good. And the Baltimore Colts have just won themselves the Super Bowl if they can last out the last 5 seconds.
The fact is, outstanding defensive performances usually go hand in hand with Super Bowl victories. A real headache. That's what Miami Dolphins safety Jake Scott was to the Washington Redskins in Super Bowl VII. The day the no-name defense did not allow a touchdown, and Scott became the second defender to earn MVP stripes. In Super Bowl XII, Doomsday dominated Denver, and Cowboy defensive end Harvey Martin shared MVP honors with pass rushing colleague Randy White. In Super Bowl XX, any member of the Chicago Bear pass rush could have been named MVP. In the end, defensive end Richard Dent got the nod. But as good as Mike Ditka's defense was against the New England Patriots, the Pittsburgh Steelers allowed even fewer total yards in Super Bowl IX. Like the no-names in Super Bowl VII, the mighty Steel Curtain did not allow a touchdown. The last time that's ever been accomplished in Super Bowl competition. The first time it happened was Super Bowl VI, the day Doomsday did in the Dolphins. One year after their last-second loss to the Colts, Chuck Howley and the Cowboys allowed Miami a mere field goal. Then chased Dolphin quarterback Bob Greasy into the Super Bowl Hall of Shame.
It was a highlight of the day. That seemed to ensure that we were probably going to win that football game on that particular play. When you see somebody chasing somebody that far back, and that's probably the longest lost yardage situation I've ever seen in football.
Greasy's retreat epitomized Miami's frustration, but he and his talented teammates would not be down long. One year later, the Miami Dolphins arrived for Super Bowl VII, undefeated. And as most of the free world watched, pro football history was made. A power ground game, punctuated by timely passing, helped Miami build a 14-0 halftime lead. With fate dealing ill fortune to the Washington Redskins, Only self-destruction could keep Don Shula's Dolphins from a perfect season. Enter Garo Yepremian.
A 42-yard attempt by Yepremian. The kick is blocked, rolling loose on the field. It is picked up by Garo. He tries to throw a pass, deflected in the air, grabbed by Bass. 40, 35, 30. He's going to score.
I'm sure that he visualized himself catching a blocked field goal and throwing a touchdown pass, and that probably was the most upsetting thing that's ever happened to me. When Garo came over to the sideline, and I was pretty upset and let him know it.
And how does the tiny tie maker from Cyprus remember the event?
When I looked up, Bill Brundage was in front of me, and of course when he's in front of me and I'm 5'7" with my hair up, and he's in front of me is 6'4", 270 pounds, I couldn't see anything downfield. So, and I didn't realize my hands were too small. The ball just slipped out of my hands. And Mike Bass was a very good friend of mine, and since then we're much better friends. Picked it up and went for a touchdown. The only thing that bothers me is I didn't do it often enough. If I had thrown the pass more often, maybe I would have been a color analyzer on one of the networks.
The Dolphins held on to complete the NFL's first ever perfect season. But their unparalleled sporting achievement often takes a backseat to the comic footnote that accompanied it. But for the Dallas Cowboys and tight end Jackie Smith, Super Bowl 13 was no laughing matter.
Roger back to throw, has a man open in the end zone, caught, touchdown, drop! Dropped in the end zone, Jackie Smith all by himself!
I was embarrassed, humiliated to a great extent. And there were some unfair things, not unfair, just the press, said in the paper. And I never do pay much attention to those things, good or bad, and I didn't read it, but my wife read it, and she started crying, It got her real upset.
Probably the most disappointing thing in my career is when Jackie dropped the ball, in the Super Bowl, because he wanted that win so bad.
Everybody on our team just felt really terrible that he couldn't have ended his career with the championship and the Super Bowl ring, which his career deserved.
Oh, bless his heart, he's got to be the sickest man in America. Oh, Jackie was so wide open in the end zone, it was incredible.
They gave me a ring, and I had it made into a necklace for my wife. There's more to me, and the reason I played it than to play for a ring and say, this is what it's all about. It's not what it's all about, in my mind.
Reverse. Here comes the reverse, boys. Yeah, here comes the reverse.
But the victory that ring represents is important. Even more so for teams trying to avenge prior defeats, such as Hank Stram's Kansas City Chiefs in Super Bowl IV.
Here it is. Move it. Oh, hey, move it up a little bit. Look at his foot here. 65 horsepower trap. It might pop wide open, Rats. Was it there, boys? Was that there, Rats? Nice going, baby. Yes, sir, Rats. Yes, sir, boys. Yeah! The Mentor. 65 horsepower trap. Yeah! Yeah! I tell you that, baby, that's there. Yes, sir, boys. That's it, boy. Yes, sir, Rats. Yeah, that's it, boy. Nice going. Where's Otis? Where's Otis? Where's Mo? Otis. Yeah. That's the way to inject that ball over the goal line. That's it.
While the Chiefs were winners in their second Super Bowl appearance, the Vikings' lopsided loss would only be the beginning of a record run of futility. 3 more times in the next 7 seasons, Minnesota ruled the NFC. Each time the Vikings were hammered in the Super Bowl. And all three defeats were marked by record-setting offensive performances by their opponent. Anka established a new standard with 145 rushing yards as Miami rolled over the Vikings 24-7. It was a record that lasted only 1 year. Super Bowl IX. Pittsburgh's Franco Harris glided through the Vikings defense for 158 yards. It was the second time in 2 years Minnesota surrendered a milestone performance. Two years later, the Oakland Raiders won their first NFL championship at the Vikings' expense. The largest Super Bowl crowd yet watched the Raiders amass 429 yards of offense, the most in the game's 11-year history. But the lingering image of Super Bowl XI was captured by the Raiders' defense. One play that stands as a monument to silver and black intimidation. Time has not dulled the edge of Jack Tatum's piercing hit. It remains a vivid Super Bowl memory. So does this 75-yard interception return by Willie Brown that sealed the Raiders' 32-14 victory.
Willie Brown at the 30, 40, 50. He's going all the way. Old man Willie. Touchdown Raiders.
The Raiders would dominate pro football 2 more times, a tribute to their confident, arrogant, opportunistic defense.
What a day. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. It's like a dream come true. It's unbelievable. Yes, and we're going to win. We are going to win, no question.
In Super Bowl 15, Rod Martin grabbed a piece of history by picking off a record 3 passes as the Raiders grasped greatness for the second time.
Back is Jaworski. Now comes up the middle. Picked off. Rod Martin, the third time today. And Rod Martin once again slams the door in the face of the man they call Jaws, a sort of fitting symbol. Silver and black football is king of the hill in the National Football League.
3 years later against Washington, the Raiders wore the crown once again. The tone was set by the finest pair of cornerbacks in pro football. Number 22, Mike Haynes, slick and stylish. Number 37, Lester Hayes, rough and rowdy. The game's MVP was Marcus Allen, whose record 191 rushing yards included this masterpiece.
Getting to Allen, sending him wide left. He has to reverse his field, but he gets away for a moment. Comes back up the middle of 30, 25, 40. Breaks past 2 minutes of 50. Down to the 40. Picking up a blocker. To the 20. To the 10. To the 5. Touchdown Raiders! Holy Toledo!
The year before, it was the Redskins' John Riggins who turned short yardage into long distance in the fourth quarter.
Goal line, goal line. I left tight wing, 70 chip on white. Ready?
Here comes the diesel. Here comes the diesel. Here come with John Riggins right up the middle. Right up over the middle.
Yellow 41!
There's the snap, and to Riggins. Good hole. He's got the first down to the 40. He's gone. The 35, the 30, the 20. He's gone. He's gone. Touchdown, Washington Redskins.
Riggins' run propelled Washington to its first Super Bowl title. As a single play, it has earned a place among the most memorable moments in NFL championship history. The Redskins' other Super Bowl victory in the 80s featured a memorable game by another back. Timmy Smith ran for 204 yards against the Denver Broncos in the greatest rushing performance ever on Super Sunday. But Super Bowl 22 will always be remembered for Doug Williams and what will forever be known as the quarter.
Play action fake. Williams going up top. Got Sanders on the fly at midfield. He's gone.
This 80-yard touchdown on Washington's first offensive play of the second quarter ignited the most stunning 15 minutes of football in NFL history.
Well, Doug Williams and company light it up, and they're back in this game.
Yes, sir. We're coming back. We're going to do it.
Williams to pass, lobs it up. He's got Clark at the goal line. He's got it. Touchdown, Washington Redskins.
The Redskins have arrived. They woke up.
He'll hand off to Smith, the deep back. Good hole. Midfield, horse race to the 40. Far side 35, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown.
You're watching history. This is history in the making.
Touchdown, Washington Redskins. That's a new Super Bowl record. 4 touchdowns in 1 quarter. We are seeing a virtuoso performance.
Get another one right here.
Let's see. Do they go up top? Lobs it into the end zone. He's got Didier. Touchdown, Washington Redskins. Holy cow.
Most valuable player of Super Bowl 22 is quarterback Doug Williams of the Washington Redskins.
For one magical quarter, Doug Williams was the best who ever played. 15 minutes that will be forever frozen in time. For Jim Plunkett, Super Bowl 15 was a game for the ages. Yet 2 years before that historic day in New Orleans, Plunkett was released outright by the 49ers, his career seemingly over. The Raiders gave him the chance to rediscover faith, especially in himself.
Plunkett drops back to pass, steps up, he looks, over the middle, he's got it, touchdown Raiders! Plunkett on a straight drop back, steps up, can't find anybody yet, takes off running to the left, rolls on the move, and it's caught by King at the 40. Plunkett, time to throw. Deep to the end zone to Branch. It is caught by Branch. Touchdown Raiders. Holy Toledo. Jim Plunkett climaxing as great a comeback as sports has ever witnessed.
Jim Plunkett's determined 3-touchdown performance earned him the MVP award. His refusal to quit made Super Bowl 15 one of the sport's most enduring. In fact, since the birth of the Super Bowl, nearly 2/3 of the MVPs have been quarterbacks. And in that honor roll of field generals, no one led a more personally heroic attack than Phil Simms. Against Denver in Super Bowl 21, the Giants quarterback rose to record a career-high performance. Sims connected on 22 of 25 passes. That's 88%, the highest completion percentage in the history of the Super Bowl. Sims' milestone performance is certainly one of the greatest single-game achievements in Super Bowl history. Yet no quarterback has created more lasting images than Terry Bradshaw. And no team has produced more memories than the Pittsburgh Steelers. The magic of Bradshaw and receivers John Stallworth and Lynn Swann remains as striking today as when it happened more than a decade ago. In a 6-year period, the Bradshaw-led Steelers won the Super Bowl 4 times, an unparalleled record of achievement.
It was the greatest feeling in the world, man, when you know you're good. Oh, it's good. It's a good feeling. If God would come down right now, Terry, what can I do for you? Send me and put me back in one Super Bowl and put me on the 1 foot line and give me 2 minutes to go and give me all 3 of my timeouts and give me my boys. And then let me hear my name over the loudspeaker. Let me hear the roar of the crowd. Bradshaw, Bradshaw. And let me have them booing on one side. Let me get in and call plays, see the eyes grow as I call these plays and talk to them. Let me feel the hair on my back crawl up. I mean, that's what the Super Bowl does to you. I mean, it's doing it right now to me. I mean, I could go out right now and play. I know I can play 2 minutes.
The Bradshaw legend began to take shape in Super Bowl 10 against the Dallas Cowboys. Most people remember the remarkable catches by Swann. They were truly unforgettable and decisive. This fourth quarter touchdown was the game winner. But the play was really a tribute to Bradshaw. He stepped up to take his shot at a second consecutive Super Bowl championship. That one play stamped Bradshaw a winner. He had the heart and the will of a champion. Super Bowl 14 against the Los Angeles Rams. Again, fearless and focused in the pocket, and another touchdown to Swann. But this Super Bowl turned on one memorable play.
I hadn't run it all game, and Chuck sent the play in on 3rd down. He sent it in, and we're on the sideline, and you guys are probably the ones that are filming. He takes his hand and tries to get away from here, and he has me, and he's telling me the only way we're going to beat these guys, we got to go deep.
One of the best deep passers pro football has seen crafted a moment that elevated both himself and his team to a place in history.
Bradshaw calls out the signals. Remember, Pittsburgh, the most dangerous fourth quarter team in the NFL.
Now Bradshaw pumping, firing downfield. There goes Stallworth. He pulls it in at the 30, the 20, the 10, the 5, and it's a touchdown for Pittsburgh on the ball to Stallworth. And Stallworth beat Rod Perry. Oh, did he beat him? And the Steelers fire right back on the arm of Terry Bradshaw.
It was a phenomenal catch. I mean, a phenomenal catch. And the defensive backs couldn't have missed that ball by more than a quarter of an inch.
Amazingly, the same play later in the game sealed Pittsburgh's record 4th Super Bowl championship.
Bradshaw back to pass. He throws long down the center of the field for Stallworth. He's got it at the 25 and down at the 22.
All championship quarterbacks have one thing in common. That's a great desire and will to win, and an emotional ability to block out the negative and overcome any adversity and to not panic. It's a special quality, and I look back on my career and I know I had it.
Now that the 1980s have ended, it's clear that another quarterback has that special quality. Joe Montana shares something else with Terry Bradshaw: 4 Super Bowl rings. Yet it took the most dramatic finish in the game's 24-year history for Montana and the San Francisco 49ers to sustain their run at this extraordinary milestone. Super Bowl 23. Montana was looking at the short end of a 16-13 score. What made the task so imposing was the time remaining and the distance to be traveled.
With 3:10 remaining, the 49ers will have to go from their 8-yard line. There's a lot staring them in the face. Montana back to throw on first down. Throws over the middle. Completes it to Craig. Craig is to the 16. 2:35 remaining. Montana throws. Sidelines. Rice. 30-yard line. Montana with a first down. Throws out here for Rice. He has it at midfield. Goes out of bounds at about the 40. Wide receivers near side. Montana to throw. Completes it up the middle to Craig.
Get the halfback. Somebody get the halfback.
Craig is down to the 36-yard line. Get another 49er first down. Montana trying to drive him the length of the field here with the game in the balance. 16-13, the Bengals lead. Montana back to throw. Throws over the middle. On a fine catch by Rice. Right to the 20. He's down to the 19 for a first down for the 49ers. And the 49ers let the clock run. They haven't called timeout. Montana going without a huddle. 52 seconds remaining. Joe back to throw. He looks. He throws. He completes it to Craig. He's down to the 10. 40 seconds remaining. The 49ers will have to take a timeout here, and they do.
It's such a sight to watch this. It is, whether it happens now or not, to watch Joe Montana do this so many years, and to watch this absolute surgeon on the football field and one of the all-time greats do his thing again, it's almost like poetry.
No way. We got to do it. One turnover,
At the 10-yard line, 39 seconds remaining. Back to throw Montana. Steps up, throws. Touchdown! A 10-yard pass. The 49ers have scored with 34 seconds remaining.
34 seconds away from it.
Montana to Taylor for 10 yards, but they went 92 yards in 11 plays. Super Bowl victories in the 1980s as they win it on a brilliant drive, 20-16.
1 year later, in January of 1990, the 49ers marched into the Superdome in New Orleans, determined to secure their piece of history. The Denver Broncos were sacrificed at the Temple of Montana in the greatest story ever told by a Super Bowl quarterback.
You got to play a whole nother half. So, ain't nothing you can do.
Beat, man.
Get after it.
59 Razor! Fox 59 Razor!
In the second half, the carnage continued.
Montana drops back to throw, looks over the field, goes for the end zone. Jerry Rice, touchdown 49ers!
That's one way to describe Joe Montana's record-setting 5-touchdown performance. In this ultimate team triumph, one man's achievements will forever stand alone.
And here comes Joe out of the ballgame. And this gives Joe Montana a chance to get what he deserves, a tremendous ovation from this crowd at the Superdome, and people on their feet. A lot of standing O's out there for Joe Montana's spectacular performance again today. Could very well be his 3rd Super Bowl MVP award.
A year later, events in the Persian Gulf cast a long shadow over the silver anniversary of the Super Bowl. But in that quarter century of competition, the event had become more than just a game. Super Bowl 25 became a symbol of freedom and unity. For the players and the worldwide audience, the show would go on. So they raised the curtain on the most exciting and memorable Super Bowl ever played.
Showtime, hey, baby. What you talking about? Showtime. Talk to me. Talk to me. Showtime.
Penetration into Bill's territory. Megas on the right side, takes the handoff, and is tripped. He gets up on his feet, continues to move. 40, 45-yard line.
The Giants controlled the flow at the outset and took a 3-0 advantage. But the lead vanished after little more than a minute under a stampede of Buffalo offense.
Dropping back to pass, they blitz off the side. Here's a long throw downfield. And it is deflected and caught by Lofton.
Good job. Hey, big legs. Good job, baby.
The Bills' no-huddle offense had tied the game and had the Giants' coaching staff in knots, trying to slow it down. Buffalo's offense celebrated its 10-3 lead, which signaled its defense to get down to business.
It's time to put the heat on them now. Party's over, baby. Let's turn it up.
The Bills laid Jeff Hostetler out 3 times, and if he wasn't seeing stars, he may have been hearing bells tolling midnight for his Cinderella postseason. Buffalo's defense had the Giants' offense in a vice grip until Hostetler turned to the one man that Giants quarterbacks had counted on all season, Otis Anderson.
Giants have a second and a long 4. O.J. has the ball. Through a hole, he's got a first down and more. 30, 35, 36-yard line. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Come on.
Mentioned it was gut check time, and these Giants just passed that gut check. Came down and scored 7 when they needed it.
New York began the second half by launching a drive that defined the very essence of Giant football, power football, that underscored exactly how they got to Super Bowl 25.
Hostetler barking out the signals, has the ball in the pocket. Throws over the top. He's got Meggett. Meggett will get a first down.
The Giants bashed downfield on a 14-play meat grinder, the most time-consuming drive in Super Bowl history. It was an assault spearheaded by MVP Otis Anderson and highlighted by Mark Ingram.
12-10 the score. Buffalo, third quarter. Hostetler has the ball and the snap. Throws. Complete. He's got Ingram for maybe a first down. He'll try to the 20. Yes, he's got it.
After the catch, 7 yards and 5 tacklers lay between Ingram and the first down marker that appeared hopelessly out of reach.
What effort! What effort!
Caught that ball at the 25 and got free of 3 separate tackles. I didn't think there was any chance to be able to do it. A nice spin move, a cutback, great athletic play.
This has been a long, long clock-eating drive.
James, this drive is taking almost 10 minutes.
Giants on the 1.5-yard line. O.J. touchdown!
A lead that took the Giants 9.5 minutes to achieve was wrestled away by the Bills with a quick strike that took only 4 plays and a minute and a half. In a display of power and speed, Thurman Thomas rushed for a game-high 135 yards, and his 31-yard touchdown on the first play of the fourth quarter gave the Bills a slim 2-point edge. Hostetler and the Giants answered with yet another marathon 14-play journey as Matt Barr calmly drilled one more clutch postseason field goal. The stage was set for a heart-stopping finish in what would become the greatest Super Bowl ever.
If you're a Bills fan now, you gotta believe. If you're a Giants fan, now they say, hey, you gotta hold them.
In the final 2 minutes, the Bills raced desperately down to the New York 29. The Giants led by a single point. 8 seconds remained. The fate of both teams rested on the leg of Scott Norwood.
Oh boy, hearts beat faster in Buffalo. High drama here in the Super Bowl. Here comes number 11, Scott Norwood. Incredible.
What a fine game. What an absolutely fine game.
Scott Norwood. He can fire the shot heard round the world now and win a Super Bowl.
Ball will be spotted at the 37-yard line.
The Super Bowl will ride on the right foot of Norwood.
Snap, spot, in the air. It's got the distance. It is.
Super Bowl 25. The silver anniversary had produced a true champion, and that winner was the Super Bowl itself, an event that's still as exciting and memorable as ever. The Super Bowl is professional sports' true passion play. One game is all you get to shape your fate. With history the judge, the contest becomes epic in scope, grand in scale, larger than life. And make no mistake, history can be cruel to those who lose. win, and you've gained something permanent. A piece of football immortality. The Super Bowl, always memorable, often magical. Just listen to Terry Bradshaw.
Every player, in my opinion, should have experienced at least one Super Bowl to know how different and how special the game really is. You can talk about it, we can show highlights, you can interview players like myself. Every player has to walk out on that stadium and feel the skin on his roll and the hair crawl up on his back and hear the crowd and how deafening it is, and to feel the magnitude of the greatest spectacle on earth just one time. He'll never forget it.